Here we are. This might be the last episode of the day. Rock on. So, I'm going to get into ballasting. This is not an easy. This is where, when I'm talking to people who ask me what I do, I'm doing ballasting frequency or I'm ballasting charge. Like when you say chirality. No, that's all right. I'm just going to go. I think I'm just going to go walk down this way. I'm good. I'm good. I'll go have my food. I'll go get my drink. I'll go do whatever. And that's good. It's fine. But we must understand a little bit because it's in my work. You must understand what ballasting or what I'm pointing at when I say the word ballasting, because it's only something that I came with to try and express what I was doing and feeling, and it's an actual force, but it's an applied force from the intellect. It's not something that you're allowed. You're saying I'm doing. It's like an exercise, but not. So that's why it's more. When you say Tai Chi, like it's like it's kind of more of a reverence to that sensation of all it is without moving. You don't move the feet. This is from a mind-body presentation at this point. So ballasting, to say, let's talk about the ballasting of something, what I'll be presenting within technology. No, let's just talk about what does that mean to the intellect so that it could actually apply itself there. So the ballasting of charge, which would be some sort of saying there's a possibility that charge could be more. That's the only reason you want to do it. That's why not very many people do. For some reason, it doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to go out there and move the physiology around. So when your attention is on the mind and on the central nervous system from where the mind's most potentiality is from, it will have quite a bit of attention on its concurrence E with earthing, which is its connection to to the ground. So that's a charge. So when I'm talking about ballasting, I'm talking about attention that's on that. Does it have meaning? It only has meaning when it has meaning to you. Each person, each intellect that's feeling that, each DNA unit that's feeling that, because that's a charge-based sensation. That's a force frequency that goes this way. So when I'm saying frequency, I'm pretty much talking about the force of frequency as frequency. It's never about just frequencies that you study and do this with and send things out on. And that's different. That's energetic. I said that earlier. So the force of frequency or anything that has to do with charge has to do with all it is, always. That's where singularity. It's not. Singularity doesn't mean it's just one. It's just one. It can't mean anything unless it means something to the charge that's actually feeling it. So the concurrency of the moment is where the attention is at, and where the attention is at is an equation of what? I started this whole thing. I'll get back to where we were at. I started this whole kind of gig a little while back within the last video in trying to convey a sense of kind of what's happening in time, and the mind is accepting it as time. And that equation is something that is out of context with the possibility of having attention on a quattro force. So ballasting charge, I think of myself back on here. And I think I might draw something else, but ballasting charge takes a lot of attention because it has to do with attention that has to do with feel. So when you ballast something, or when especially when you're in total feel, you're feeling it all the way down. And that takes energy. It actually takes energy. So that context of what you would equate force to is something that's experienced in and through the central nervous system. Where does it go to? Is it going to where your mind is going to? So ballasting is a tension on force frequency is something that what it's going to is what it can feel, not as what it believes it can feel or what it can imagine it feel, but just what it can feel from where? Only from a context of attention on all that is, and that's where you get a lot of your. So, did I find myself wanting to run when I had got this information? No, I found myself wanting to be still. I couldn't run because both my knees were. There was nothing there. So I couldn't do that. So I'm not defining point charge by anything other than, you know, just in general, we don't meditate bouncing up and down. I dance all the time, and it gets me into the force of all it is. But I'm talking about the feet. I'm talking about the attention to all it is through what it would say as a charge connection of what we call balance, but it's a force presence that comes from an angular momentum that is felt through the hip and the ground at the same time. If you're moving, you cannot equate that out. The whole body can move. The feet, what are they trying to feel? They're trying to feel the animation of what they are to the ground. I'll put up some of those drawings right now because that's where I started. A lot of my earlier drawings have more color and more animation because I was more animated at that time. And so you'll see the drawings of the feet and the actual, so this is what I'm actually feeling. You'll see it all drawn there. A lot of words too. But in that is also the concurrency of time. And I want to make sure that one gets put up because it shows where the DNA frequency in all this is what's why I want to talk about ballasting of charge, is that the DNA frequency as a whole, as a laying down of the nine through history, that still falls into kind of I don't know, why is this happening kind of like this? It feels kind of shitty. So I have a picture that kind of, that's kind of what it felt like, and it ends up being really the backdrop of everything kind of we're saying now, and that was just all from like, this is what I feel. There's some energetic that you'll, I mean, all the frequency, the forces are there, you can see them. But what I was equating to was what we experience we experience different identities in psyches within the same ability of frequency, but just because there's a different experience of that frequency that seems greater than where we're at, then that's how we quantify experience as a whole. And that cannot no longer be the equation. That's all. It's all. That's a simple thing. If that can just be something that maybe we can back away from just a tad, then that can open up just a little bit. So it's very important to know that if you're going to take attention on, if you're going to take, okay, I really want to know about this physics stuff. I want to know about the curve. I want to know something about this. It's like, yes, it's very exciting. It should be. Where does it start? Right here. Does it start because of an emotional? No, but it does always start at point A, and what's the value point of point A to point B? Always. So in my line of work, point A is always more light. This is a simple equation. So the ballasting of charge would be well, what would I do with where I'm at now as what I am calling myself, not labeling, presenting to. So to do that just on your own is almost not doable. Often, most common, not doable. So what I've done, because it's so hard to keep your attention where I'm saying that it's not just not easy to do within the frequency of all it is. I use weighted staff, or I do. But I'm showing this to you, and I use it with one hand now more than two. I use it always with one. In the act of presenting yourself and your own attention to, this is why they do forms and things in martial arts and things, is to create that more awareness to that. What does that feel like when you drop to the, what does that feel like? Well, it feels more powerful. You're dropping all your weight. Well, it's also where charge is going to go to the next. It's something that has to occur in just a natural motion, a natural way of wanting to be here. When you ballast charge, there's more attention on it. And it's not just standing on your head. It's not how long you can stand. It's not what you think about it. It's just an amplification of a sense of all it is, which is something that becomes very, it's just a sensation that's not normal, because that's not what we do all the time. But it's there and it has a value point that is grander than what we're allowed. So the ballasting of charge would be attention that is okay with that. And when that attention is, and you allow yourself to have more attention of you, and you apply it to something that it has to have some sort of weight to it. It can have a level of say so. And let's talk about gravity for a second. Gravity is not something that's coming down. Gravity is something that is happening because of the force of all that's going up. It's a charge that creates. So when you're ballasting charge, you're already not questioning it. It's not there. You're knowing that gravity isn't owing you, as it's portrayed, because it's not really gravity. It's just listen to the guy on electromagnetism. He's got all that. Anyway, so that when you put your mind to it, it's like an exercise. It is like an exercise to put your mind standing up into experience. So anyone that's done that for any period of time, it takes a lot of attention, as I keep saying, and over again. But I'm just trying to, that's where we're getting at with ballasting of charge. So to ballast that charge, I really want to get into some more on the water. But the ballasting of charge, which I'm trying to get at in terms of where I applied some intel. Well, what can I showed it in my first one. I showed it what I'm doing. But I'm trying to get to the mechanics of it here, just so that you know that ballasting is a part of the production mechanism. So that understanding that when you the physics of ballasting charge is not about what you think you can do with so said thing that is not you, which has a weight and a form and an existence. It's all it is because it has mass, or mass is existing in it. But you're connecting to it. You're not judging it, you're just connecting to it. So that's what I do. And in doing so, then it is something that takes all of me to a farther radius of whatever it is. So the manifestation of the feel towards me, most of it's out here. And where else? Through the ankles and feet. So the ballasting of that charge has meaning, not just, well, wow, that's really cool. No. How many times do I do that? How many reps? So it's a constant attention. It's like it's not witching. You're not. Oh, now what am I doing? No, it's like riding a ship. You train. In this case here, you're not on the water expecting the ship to do something via a mechanism. You're expecting your intellect to deal with that charge. Where from? From how strong it is? No. Can we stop it just for a second?